One customer, they had foreseen 40 days, but with our tool, with Gen AI, they were completed within 10 days. So 75% efficiency increased, and that's such an amazing example. And it's such boring work that gets automated. No lawyer wants to read through all the contracts, check all the different requirements. So I'm Carsten. I'm the head of the AI Competency Lab at Macros. And Macros is a specialized consulting company founded more than 25 years ago, already specializing in risk management and banking transformation. So we have about 60 consultants spread all over Germany, so German focus. And we have like three main things we look at. So one is risk management and regulation, second is banking transformation, and then information technology for banks. Our customers include public saving banks, Sparkassen, Volksbanken, and also public development banks, but also international financial institutions. So the two biggest misconceptions we face when talking to customers on generative AI is, first of all, they have not yet understood the full potential of generative AI. So maybe like a mental blockage, that they have not used it. So you have to show them examples of how far generative AI can go, much more than just like writing a nice email. And the second thing is then, if you think about execution, there's like a blockage on using services in the cloud. They sometimes have not really understood that it's possible to use generative AI securely in the cloud to get results very, very quickly. The biggest problems we see with DORA, the Digital Operational Resilience Act, which is now has taken effect end of January. The biggest problem we see with our customers is that they are a bit overtaxed with all the work that has to be done. I mean, DORA, it's like several hundred pages and lots of things to cover. So where to start? No? But then if you look at what the regulator expects, the regulator knows you have not yet finished, but the regulator wants to see that you have a plan, that you know where you're standing and what the next steps are. And helping banks to get to that kind of overview and planning of the next steps, that's one task where we can support them a lot. DORA entails, well, as it says, Digital Operational Resilience Act. So as a financial institution, you have to show that you're resilient in your IT. So you have to, for instance, show, well, the basic stuff now, you have backups and so on, but you also have like risk management in place and many other things concerning IT risks. And then one problem is it's not just you have to prove that you follow all these procedures, but also all the service providers you're using. They also have to follow these kind of procedures. So you have to look at all your ICT contracts and make sure that they all follow. One product that we have been developing, DORA Check AI, well, that's one Gen AI product focusing on one specific task, namely on checking the IT service provider contracts, whether they comply to DORA, whether all the things required from DORA are written in the contract. And that's such an amazing example of generative AI. 3 years ago, it was impossible to build. Now, I have no clue how to use a standard AI system, but now with Gen AI, it's possible. And what the tool does, you upload your ICT contracts, and a few minutes later, you get a detailed analysis of whether this contract complies or not. And we talk to our customers, and they have savings from 80 to 90%. So instead of 4 hours, it takes them only like 30 minutes now to go through a contract. And if you look at the overall time planned for implementing DORA, one customer, they had foreseen 40 days, but with our tool, with Gen AI, they were completed within 10 days. So 75% efficiency increased, and that's such an amazing example. And it's such boring work that gets automated. No lawyer wants to read through all the contracts, check all the different requirements. They want to see like an analysis, a pre-result, which is easily be done by the generative AI. They want to take a look at it and then take the decisions based on that. When we built DORA Check AI, the biggest challenges were, on the one hand, like combining the knowledge, expertise on regulation, understanding what DORA really means and how to break it down, and then secondly, how to implement it in such a way, well, that it's feasible by generative AI in a quality that we need. So we have now a system that's like 95% correct, But that really requires a lot of combination of these both expertise, which we have in-house in Macros. So that's the cool thing. We have the guys who know about regulation, and we have the guys that know how to implement such knowledge into an AI system and a prompt workflow, so that we get like a system with the high quality that's really required. So what's the next big thing in regulation and AI? I think there are many different small problems that you can solve, like DORA Smart Check. It solves one part of problem. It doesn't make you fully DORA compliant, but it solves one specific problem, and that highly efficiently. And if we talk to our customers, we see so many of these kinds of problems in regulation, because the regulation changes all the time. They have to check all their internal SOPs and so on. And it just, this daily work takes so much time. And there are so many opportunities for these specialized, dedicated Gen AI systems that I think there are many other areas where you can improve, like the efficiency on about 80 or 90%. And maybe just to add to that, the big problem is that the banks, they have to use these tools, because if you look at the age of the employees, you will see that many of them will leave in the next 5 to 10 years. So there will be a huge lack of expertise. How I think Gen AI is one of the few ways how you can really address that lack that's surely coming. What's the first step that I think every institution can do? I mean, it's not difficult to get a chat-based system into your company, not like ChatGPT, but compliant with all the regulations. It will take maybe a week of work, and then you have a system that your employees can already use in their daily work with prompting. And I think that's really one first step every company should do and can do. I mean, you have solutions where you can run your AI system within the European data space. Now, whether you use Azure or whether you use some other provider that has like a local installation. And especially with DeepSeek, with these open source models that are really on the level of GPT-4o, there's no reason anymore not to go that step. Another thing, if you're financial institutions, well, one is using the AI, but then of course we have to build up the competency. I mean, it's required now with the AI Act. So when we go to customers, we have like several lines that we follow. One is top-down, teaching the management about the potential of AI so that they understand what's coming. Then secondly is like bottom-up, having learning journeys for all the employees so that everybody is able to use these systems. And then thirdly is like, and that's related to strategy, think what are the biggest use cases that you have to solve, or actually what are the biggest problems that you have to solve, and then do workshops where you come up with ideas of use cases that use generative AI to solve these problems that you have. No, I think these three approaches, top-down, bottom-up, and then looking for use cases, that's a very good strategy for any financial service company to follow.